Hello, everybody. This is Lorraine.
And Jennifer.
And this morning, we're going to talk about TikTok.
Yeah, a little more than TikTok though. Government shutting it down. I think that's a first that I know of the government maybe stepping in and shutting down some sort of media platform, but maybe you could give me a history lesson.
Um, I I can't think of anything where the government has reacted this way. And the thing that's been really interesting to watch about this is it's not party based. It's not Democrats or Republicans. It really is across the board people that are having an opportunity to get security briefings. And I think that's one of the things that is making this hard, I think, for people to swallow is they don't understand. They're looking at this and they're saying, wait a minute, I'm I'm building a community on TikTok. I know you just sent me a screen grab, and you have videos on TikTok that are getting 500 and 1,000 views. And it is hard to think that that's going to go away.
Yeah. People have built entire businesses on just TikTok. Now, I'm way more diversified than that, and so are you. And I'll be honest, I don't really hang out on TikTok that much. It's not my jam. It's a time suck, and like I don't. But you're right on the political thing. Like it's not one side or the other, it's a security thing. And I have to take a step back from that. And I don't want to go political. I'm just more of thinking, okay, the Chinese government does have 1% of the company. So there's that. We don't have any social media companies that I know of that the government has any kind of say in, but the government has very much been involved in the social media space. I go all the way back to the 2006 elections with Facebook. And I started thinking about how the government, really like hammered or attempted to hammer Facebook and how embarrassing it was, the questions that they were asking Mark Zuckerberg. And I'm just like sitting there like flabbergasted, like you're asking the wrong questions because people just don't understand how these algorithms work.
Mm-hmm.
And I do, for a lack of, I'm not an engineer, but I certainly understand from a marketing aspect how they work.
I
And
think I think the thing is with TikTok and with this current round of pressure on Google and on Facebook and a lot of these platforms, I still don't think that Mitch McConnell understands how the social medias work.
they don't.
But what I think is starting to happen is there are people on their staff because some of the conversations, some of the questions, some of the opinions, if you follow it, are becoming more precise. And the examples about what they're concerned about are not this amorphous. The one of the cases that they cited is TikTok started showing ads in a particular community and they were being pushed with a very specific message and they were targeting people because the algorithm of TikTok is very, very good. And it was very specifically a Chinese government agenda.
Yes, and Facebook got in trouble for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, yeah, if you're following that, then that makes sense. I also think of like being very savvy as a marketer. So, a lot of people saw Facebook kind of, be attacked by the government, and so they pulled ad dollars,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Mm-hmm.
did it too on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
X, whatever you want to do. But you know what happens during that period? Ads get really cheap because you all like went around and you were like, you know what, I'm getting out of here. But the people didn't go anywhere. They were still there. And so if you just like stuck with it, it was like, okay, well, this is like, don't follow the leader.
Well, okay, I'm going to give you a perfect example. The US government has announced that if TikTok does not divest by December, they will block it here in the United States. However, do you know who's on TikTok right now?
The government.
Joe Biden. The Biden campaign, because they recognize that as long as it's here,
Voters.
they have to be here. So, taking a look at all of this and looking at as a business owner, I think you raised a really good case. When everybody leaves, if you can find a path that fits and feels comfortable, continue to play. But also, if TikTok goes away in December, do you know what kind of changes I'm going to make in my content creation strategy?
I don't think much other than not posting on TikTok, because we're doing short form video in several different places, and Facebook's not going anywhere. Facebook has already picked up on the algorithm. Facebook and Instagram have the exact same algorithm.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people are not understanding that too. I just did this show on like followers and likes, and it doesn't matter anymore.
No, I'm embracing that because I have videos on YouTube, and YouTube has become, I put my shorts everywhere, but I'm getting 400 and 500 views on a short.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but those aren't people that are following me. Well, I'm watching my followers and I get one new follower a week. I'm not building huge. But what I'm also starting to see is it's trickling over to my long form content, where the
Yes.
videos were getting 1 and 2 views. Now they're getting 10 and 11. And so it's building. And a lot of it is building with one-time viewers.
Yeah, well, and it's that time investment that, well, I don't know about the one-time viewers though, because I don't know if you can get that metric right now if you have repeat viewers. That's a really good point. Those people could be coming back and watching over and over, and so your funnel that's at the very top is
Mhm.
much larger,
Mhm.
which is great because not everybody's ready to buy.
No.
Only 2% of people. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, there is a metric that I track when I
Oh,
look
okay.
at when I look at my analytics, it shows me how many are returning and how many are new. And I am particularly on the shorts feed.
Yeah.
It's all new. It's all new. But I'm starting to see the return visitors creeping up
Ah,
and the
okay.
subscribers creeping up, and it's slow. It's
Yeah.
really slow. But the point is that the lessons I learned on TikTok, and as a business owner, I don't really care if TikTok goes away. It
No,
it's not my world.
no.
But what I've learned creating content in a format that is acceptable for TikTok is how to play on YouTube, how to get my Facebook Reels to
Yeah,
show up.
yeah. I
And
actually wouldn't be mad if it went away, because that's like one less place I have to post to. I mean, I know it's just like typically a checkbox, but there are things that are different on TikTok
Mhm. That
than,
you have
and
to stop and
yeah,
check.
different copy and different like,
Mhm.
so from a marketing standpoint, I'm not gonna be that mad.
No. And I think the reality is that all of the platforms are going to be under increasing pressure. You're seeing it in the Facebook algorithm where they're the whole zero click environment. They don't want to drive you to fake news sites, so they just won't
Mhm.
drive you to news sites. You need to be aware of the changes. You need to be looking at every time there's a change, do I go in more or do I go in less? And adjust your strategy, and not necessarily based on what other people are doing.
No, and be very aware of your surroundings and who you hang out with, because there's this like technology like curve where people like, get into things, and if you're hanging out with all these people that are way at the beginning of like things like Lorraine and I all the time, I mean, don't not hang out with us, 'cause then you know what's going on. But is the general public there yet?
Mm.
Because you see this big hype, I just have to say, with AI, like this big hype, and like the general public's not there yet.
No,
But if
no.
you're way out here, you're taking advantage of things that other people are not taking, but don't go too far.
That's the thing, is that living on the bleeding edge, and I have spent a good portion of my life living on the bleeding edge. It's bloody. And Lindsay Anderson once said to me, "It's bloody, but it's profitable."
Yeah.
And the idea is that you toe in the water. You figure out what's working, what's not working.
Practical.
You learn very quickly. You've
Yeah.
got to be willing to take a lot of information in very fast
Yeah.
to figure out, is it going to work? Do I care? Does it matter?
Yeah.
And then you move on, or you don't. You stay put and you wait
Yeah.
for everybody else to catch up.
Well, and so TikTok, I mean, just coming back to that, like, I think there is probably a lot of wasted time
Mhm.
on there. I guess when I get on there, I'm like mind numbing like activity. I get on there and I feel like I'm not getting this content that I'm like, okay, I'm want to more of like educate myself, and it's a little entertaining. It's kind of like watching TV, but I don't watch a whole lot of TV either. Like I'm a
Mhm.
dork. I'm like learning and like
Yeah, I am enjoying more of the reels on YouTube, but even those are getting a little bit TikTok-y.
I'm all Facebook. Like I'm hanging out on Facebook or LinkedIn. Those are
Mhm.
my two like network of choices. I don't open the other apps that often.
No, I don't.
No.
All right. Well, we could talk about this a lot, but I think what I'd love to do is say we're going to revisit this probably in September or October once we see, is the lawsuit going to go anywhere? Is,
Yeah, yeah, it's
you know,
let the
where
lawyers fight it out now.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's
So,
what we're gonna see.
so until then, you know what? Look for me on YouTube. Look for me on LinkedIn. I'm on TikTok, but yeah, don't go there.
I'm on TikTok, so you can go there. It's similar content though. If you're already on LinkedIn or if you're on Facebook, then you're gonna find very similar content over there as well.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye.